say that there are great companies like Samsung, Apple, and then Google, Yahoo. There are companies like that. And they are, yes, they are showing in their website that they are doing CSR activities. They are promoting the awareness programs. They are promoting the diminution of child labor like that. But we came to know that they are lagging in the major factors. Like Samsung has been caught of labor accusation. They have been in China. We came to know that in China they have paid low wages in China, comparatively very low wages in China, comparing with their own workplace in UK and then US. They are discriminating their own workers. This is not the meaning of CSR. And Walmart is a good example. We came to know that Walmart has shown its customer that they sell the organic foods. They have packaged the organic foods with low sugar diet and low calories. But Abercrombie and Fitch, this is a clothes company, and then they just produce. They were caught of just producing the clothes for smarter people, fit people. Oversized people were not in the criteria of their production, clothes production. Moving on to the positive factors, these were the companies we found really interesting. They are the one interested in CSR. They didn't just so, they innovated the ways of CSR. They innovated the ways of helping the society. First, let's look at the Tata Docomo Bloodline Club. They opened a Bloodline Club in Facebook, and if anyone puts a record on their suppose someone has an accident and then they need a O positive blood, then they immediately supply the O positive blood to them. This is the meaningful CSR one of them we found. And Domtar Paper 12. Domtar is a company that produces paper. And then they produce papers that are environmentally sustainable. They do not throw the gases which really affect the environment. All the papers, they sell papers across all over the world, and they sell only the sustainable papers that help the environment. And then Toshiba No Print Day. This one we found interesting because Toshiba celebrates a No Print Day once a year. And in that day, they don't print any of the documents in any of the workplace, and that seems to help a lot in the society. Okay, this is an example of a 14-year-old kid. There are a lot of companies in the one hand, and there's a small kid in one hand. This kid is from USA, 14-year-old kid, and he discovered that just by printing all the documents of the world in a font called Garamond, which is a light font than the normal fonts like Times New Roman and Calligraphy, $67 million will be saved yearly. That's a very big achievement. This is also an example of CSR, not in corporate level, but from individual level, which almost we can do as well. And there's a letter from the small child. This child, we researched on this child, and this seems to be very interesting. There's one child, she got a gift from her mother, and this is the packaging of the gift. This is a small clothes, and this is a packaging. And she wrote a letter for the CEO of she was not conscious of that, but she wrote the letter to the CEO of that company. Dear Mr. Dexter, I have something to tell you about JQ, that's the company. Sorry, it's not the best thing about your company, but the company is great. Do you know the story called Giving Tree? It's the story which is about sustainability, the child factor that tree promotes like that. That's the story. And then, do you know the story called Giving Tree? Well, in that story, that one gives everything to the boy, apples, phones. Okay, she writes a letter in this format to the CEO of the company about this packaging. She was not satisfied with the packaging. Just to give the clothes, why the company has to give so many boxes, 3 boxes per day, and she was not satisfied with them. And by reading this letter, the CEO again didn't reply. And she again wrote the letter to CEO, the second letter. Mr. Dexter, I'm very disappointed. I wrote my letter to you, but I got responses from your employees. I'm glad they replied, but really I wrote this letter to you, Mr. Dexter. Just because I'm 9 doesn't mean I can help you. I am sending you the book, The Giving Tree. She was sending the book, Giving Tree, to the CEO of the company. Please respond to me yourself. If you need packaging concern, I'll be obliged. Yours sincerely, Isabel, who is a 9-year-old kid who is initiating all this. P.S. I'm also sending you the copies of my mom's book, Just Good Business. She's just a child. And then finally, the Baxter, which is the CEO of JQ, replied to her. Hi Isabel, thank you so much for your letter and your mom's book. Much appreciated. Our team totally agrees on your points regarding packaging. Not sure if Brittany mentioned to you on your call. Think she did not. She was not here in your call. Think she. Okay, we are taking facts. The steps to fix. We have. Okay, have a good weekend. And this is an interesting example. Even a 9-year-old kid has initiated the step of CSR, not the big companies which are trying to do. And we are trying to say that we can do in our own level. These things are not only we are blaming the companies, they are not doing the CSR, these all the activities, but we can do in our personal level. That's our theme of the research. And concluding this research, we want to say that, okay, we have seen the companies, bigger companies in one hand. We have seen the smaller companies, not the smaller actually, but the meaningful companies which are actually helping the society. And we have seen individuals like this 14-year-old kid and their 9-year-old kid, girl and boy as well. From this theme, we can see that CSR has been a passion. Our main theme is that CSR has been, okay, company has been started, it has been established, it has to do CSR activities. It's not compulsory to do CSR activities, but if you do that, make sure it is meaningful and helpful to the society, not a resource, an asset, or a profitable means to the company itself.
Main started from the 4 obligations of CSR: the economic responsibility, legal responsibility, ethical responsibility, and the philanthropic responsibility. The economic responsibility relates to the environment, the main profits that the company makes. Legal responsibilities refers to the legal society, that rules and regulations that the government has launched. And the ethical responsibilities, after having the rules, not just seeing the rules, but seeing the rights of the citizens. That's ethical responsibility. And the philanthropic responsibility refers to the social things that we do for the society. Now coming to the triple bottom line, the economic responsibility, social responsibility, and environmental responsibility. Economic responsibility refers to the economic response that people should have towards the CSR.
Talks about the sustainability.
The future planning. So because in the economic responsibility, we can see the richer are getting the richer and the poor are getting more poor. For the social responsibility, we can see like the rules are not being followed that properly as the government has implemented. So seeing social responsibilities, we need to go towards the social responsibility that the government had followed. So by CSR, we can do that.
These graphs and all stats and on our qualitative, we research the theories and what writers' theories.
Did you go to the field and collect some data, or did you use all secondary data?
No, primary data.
You went to the field and collected data. Did you go and interview people? Did you distribute questionnaires? You did that? Because that is primary. When you go and collect first-hand information, that is primary information collection. That is primary research. Did you do any of that? You have to say yes or no. Did you do any of that? No? These are secondary because you got it from somewhere else, correct? Secondary, second-hand.
Primary is
done.
if you do the interview. What is happening in some other countries, or some organizations is doing like this. However, some other, it's in the separately you have said that, right? Not in the research you have said. We have found that.
We are referencing, reading the journals these references. We try to.
It's not in UWE Harvard format.
UWE Harvard format.
What about references to this theory? The triple bottom line theory talks about 3 people. Equal planet profit.
Have you got
John
any
Stiglitz theory, that was 1994. We have not referred to that one. What about the stakeholders theory? Which theory is that?
It's about
import. Yeah, it should have been mentioned.
in referencing you have to show on
Now, when you say some others do the citations of any articles, then you put that one in the reference as well.
It would be better if you mention your citation somewhere, somebody else towards when the stakeholder.
then reflected with in the references. That's right.
Okay, one thing. Then have you found any? How you make? Believe that your aim with this literature.
We've tried to figure out. This is also a sustainability factor. Triple top bottom line theory talks about sustainability. It talks about the meeting the needs of the future generation, meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. He talks about this. And this girl, she gets a fine packaging. Okay. She's satisfied with that. Packaging 3 boxes for 1 clothes, okay, she's satisfied with that. But she's not satisfied with the packaging because that may harm the future generation. And that is related somewhere to
In fact,
global warming.
sewing and doing,
That is
sewing
the
or
topic.
doing, and then you're in your literature review. What's the relationship he's asking?
Yes, we are asking that what your topic is, and what relations you.
Companies are doing
In
CSR
your
activity
literature,
only
do
for
you
profit.
find that there is a sewing or doing?
Like the Walmart company showing us that
That
they produce
organic.
organic food, low
No,
fat
no, no,
food.
no. We're just asking, how can you relate with literature?
Literature.
Your main aim is what? CSR swing or doing? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. Then what relation you have found the literature which you have mentioned?
It's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So you have
It's just spend 10 to
Yeah, just
15
one
minutes
simple
maximum.
question. So after all, I think you are trying to investigate why companies would only show, but they would do less. So in simple mode, why companies would actually do that? What are the reasons?
For profit.
Oh.
Main motto. They are showing what's the exact. Why are they
The
showing
main
it?
theme of your research is CSR showing or doing. So what are the main reasons or causes that companies actually are more towards showing than doing?
It has become like a fashion.
From the literature, because it's instead of the secondary database research, literature based research. So from the literature, what are the causes, what are the reasons you actually found why companies
Because
are actually doing that?
CSR is one of the resource. It acts to be a resource. Medias come there, and then the companies get good reputation from